Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn how to express an amount as a percentage of another. We've got three success criteria, and the first one is to express a quantity as a fraction of another. So we want to express 60 as a fraction of 300 in its simplest form. So we write it as a fraction, so that's 60 over 300, and then we just need to simplify it. So we can divide both numbers by 60. Remember, what you do to the top, you've got to do to the bottom. So our answer is 1/5. For this question, Alan bought a car for £5,500 and later sold it for £4,950. We want to express his loss as a fraction of the original amount. So we find the amounts that he lost or gained. So he lost £550. So we write that as a fraction. So that's 550 over the original amount. So the number on the bottom should always be the original amount. That's 5,500. And then we just simplify the fraction. So I can divide the top and the bottom of the fraction by 550. So my answer is 1/10. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. There's your green answers, and there's your amber answers. And now we've completed success criteria 1. So we're going to move on to number 2, and this is to express a quantity as a percentage of another. So we want to express 90 as a percentage of 150. So we want to write it as a fraction first of all. So that's 90 over 150. Then we'd simplify that fraction. So I can divide the top and the bottom by 30. So that's now 3/5. And to turn it into a percentage, I need to turn it into a decimal. So I do the top divided by the bottom, 3 divided by 5. So I can use a bus stop method for that if I need to. And that's 0.6. Then to turn it into a percentage, I times that decimal by 100. So it's 60%. In this question, I want to express 42 as a percentage of 16. So first of all, I'll write it as a fraction. So it's 42 over 16. I simplify the fraction. So I can divide the top and the bottom by 2. So it's 21 over 8. Then I can turn it into a decimal. So I do 21 divided by 8. So I can use a bus stop for that. That's 2.625. And then to turn it into a percentage, I need to times that decimal by 100. So that's 262.5%. We can also do this using a calculator. So if I want to express 35 as a percentage of 150, so we can write the fraction. So we write 35, then use the fraction button, which looks like that, over 150, so have that as your fraction, and then you simply times that fraction by 100. So my answer is 23.3 recurring percent. Don't forget to add in the percentage sign yourself because the calculator won't give you that. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers, there's your amber answers, and there's your red answers. So now we've completed success criteria 2, so now we're going to move on to number 3, and this is to calculate profit or loss as a percentage. So Anna buys a painting for £80 and later sells it for £100. So what is her percentage profit? So we need to work out how much she's made. So she's made £20 profit. Then we write that as a fraction. So that's 20, and it should always be over the original amount. So the bottom number should always be the original amount. So it's 20 over 80. And then we can turn it into a percentage by timesing this by 100. So if it's a calculator paper, we can simply type in the fraction and then times it by 100. Or if it's on a non-calculator paper, I can simplify the fraction, turn it into a decimal, and then times by 100. So I should get 25%. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So what we should have done for this question is it says Joe bought a TV for £5,000 and later sold it for £3,500. So what percentage loss did he make? We need to find the amount that he lost. So he lost £1,500. So we write that as a fraction. So it's 1,500 over the original amount. So that's 5,000. And then to turn it into a percentage, we need to times that by 100. So that's 30%. Here's another example. James buys a house for £180,000. He spends £15,000 on doing it up and sells it for £250,000. So what is James's percentage profit? So we need to work out how much he's gained. So he's spent £180,000 and £15,000. So that means he's made £55,000. So we write that as a fraction over how much he spent on it in total. So that's 195,000. And then we times by 100 to turn it into a percentage. So our answer is 28.2% to one decimal place. Here's another question for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So this question says, Katie buys a phone for £400. She has it for 3 years and during that time spends £45 on repairs. She then decides to sell it and she sells it for £205. So what is her percentage loss? So she spent £445 in total, but she made £205 because that's what she sold it for. So altogether she lost £240. So we write that as a fraction over how much she spent on it in total, and then we times it by 100 to turn it into a percentage. So our answer is 53.9%. And now we've completed success criteria 3. So now that we've completed the last objective, it's time to end the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the other videos on the rest of the channel. I'll see you next time. See ya.